I was kicked out by my childhood friend and partner, carrying millions in debt. He held the exclusive formula I had developed, getting ready to ring the bell and go public. They even mocked me for knowing technology, but not capital. He deserves to be poor for a lifetime. But right at the end of the road, even this old house was about to be mortgaged. I dug through the basement and found an old radio set left by my grandfather. I thought it was just junk metal. Unexpectedly, in a late-night frequency band, it actually came from over 30 years ago. The furious roar of my long-deceased grandfather. Even if the canning factory goes bankrupt, I absolutely won't use rotten peaches to make canned food to fool the common people. At this moment, I knew the moment of a desperate counterattack had arrived. I want to take Grandpa's tough bones with me. They trampled all those capitalists who exploited others' blood one by one. Xiao Fan, sign the paper. For the sake of growing up together. This is already what I can get for you. The most dignified way to exit. The recipe I spent 3 years on is the recipe. Zero additive technology developed through relentless work in the lab. The company's startup capital. I mortgaged the old house my parents left me to get it. The product is now booming. You secretly applied for a patent behind my back. The co-investors kicked me out, and it left me with a supply chain debt of 1 million yuan. Zhou Ming, has your conscience been eaten by a dog? Conscience. Xiao Fan, you're still so childish. Nowadays, the market emphasizes marketing. It's traffic, it's capital operations. That zero additive, purely handmade nonsense. The cost of persistence is too high. I just need to add a bit of compliant additives. The shelf life can be doubled. Profits can triple. That's business logic, you know? The formula now legally belongs to the company. The company now belongs to me. You're just a nerd who only knows how to do technical work. What do you want to fight with me? Security escorted Mr. Xiao out. No hysterical arguments. There was no physical altercation. Under the harsh rules of modern business. Eliminated is eliminated. The early winter wind blew across his face, like a knife cut, when they returned to the old house left by their parents. It was already 11 a.m. The cold stove and stove in the house rang more than 10 times today to collect debts. The bank's deadline was half a month left. If I can't cover that 1 million gap, this set has a history spanning several decades. An old house that carries the memories of 3 generations of the Xiao family. They are about to be forcibly auctioned. Are you just going to honestly make products? Relentlessly pursuing technology and quality. Is it really impossible in this era? In the midst of agitation, I walked into the basement. Get ready to sort out valuable old items. Let's see if it can be sold. Inside a dusty cardboard box, I felt a cold, heavy metal object. It was an old-fashioned radio left by my grandfather back then. Grandpa Shanghai. It was once the largest food factory in the provincial capital and a grade 8 veteran worker. Later, because he couldn't stand cutting corners in the factory, he smashed his iron hand and returned to the countryside. He took over a canning factory on the brink of bankruptcy. 10 years ago, he passed away due to illness. He held my hand as he walked. Only one sentence remained. The bones of the mountain bearer must be strong. Grandpa, my bones aren't bent. But I was starving. As a science and engineering guy, it's a habit. I found a screwdriver and a multimeter. He quickly cleaned up the dust from the radio. I connected an old battery. Against all odds, this machine has almost become an antique indicator light. A faint red glow suddenly appeared. A strong electric current came from the speaker. I glanced at the clock on the wall. At 23:45, go tell Director Ma. He dared to cut off my supply of glass jars and coal. I dared to go to the provincial office and report him. Let me, Xiao Hai, add saccharin and the subduing agent to the can. He dreamed. This voice sounds so familiar. Although it sounds much younger, full of energy. But this was definitely my grandfather, Xiao Hai's voice. Hey, may I ask who you are? Which channel did I skip midnight streaming? I am Xiao Hai, the factory manager of Red Star Canning Factory. My mind buzzed with a sudden explosion. The Red Heart Canning Factory was restructured and shut down 20 years ago. The name Xiao Han. Now, it should be on the tombstone on Nanshan. What year is it? Stop there. Is my colleague out his mind? It is now November 1985. Lao Tzu told you. Even if the factory stopped work tomorrow, I absolutely don't want a pound of rotten apples from you either. In 1985, I took a deep breath. He forced his mind in this discipline to calm down. Quantum entanglement. Time-space wormhole. No matter what the scientific principles are, it feels like I'm truly connected now. Grandpa from over 30 years ago. I wasn't sent by Qian Dashing. Xiaohai, listen to me. If you really are my grandfather, then the third tile under your office floor tiles. Underneath was a wooden box wrapped in oiled paper. The other end of the radio instantly fell silent. Only heavy breathing sounded. Inside the box was a pair of old German-made calipers, which your master had passed down to you back then. There was also a notebook about the secret of temperature control for sugar boiling. You treat them like your lifeblood. Not even the child ever told her, right? Who are you? Even the king of heaven himself didn't know about this. How do you know? I am Grandpa Xiao Fan. I'm your grandson. Grandpa, I was deceived. I lost the old Xiao family's premises. More than 30 years. At this moment, it was completely pierced by this faint electric wave. Fanzia, listen to the sound. You are wronged. What the hell is going on? I was like a child who had found a pillar of support. How did Zhou Ming use capital to steal my formula? How to kick me out? He suddenly revealed that he was carrying a huge debt. Grandpa, am I really that useless? I insist on using the best materials. Insist on zero additives. But he couldn't beat them. Playing marketing and fake nonsense. Artisans rely on their own work, not the foam in her mouth. Back then, I was at a big tech company in the provincial capital. Director Ma insisted on using bad fruit and saccharin to make him food. Without a word, I smashed Hai Budo back to the countryside. Now, he's cut off my raw materials. That island sheep, named Qian Daqiang, also wanted to strangle me. Have I, Xiao Hai, ever admitted defeat? Fanzi, remember this. So what if your formula is stolen? Your mental judgment of ingredients. Your muscle memory of Huaho. Can he steal it? When faced with difficulties, they avoid them. Is it for carrying a handle? Grandpa's scolding was like a bucket of ice water rushing over his head. It extinguished my despair and weakness. Driven out of the palace kitchen from a morning. Now, I haven't even drunk a sip of water. Useless brat. When something happens, he even skips meals. Go to the wooden cabinets in the kitchen of the old house. Second floor, left corner. Grandpa just finished a bottle of canned yellow peaches today. The mouth I seal with my own hands is hidden there. What to eat to fill my stomach? Grandpa, that was 1985. I am now in 2023. Where did the nonsense come from? Let you go. I put down the microphone, half believing, holding up a phone flash. I walked into the kitchen of the old house, which had long been abandoned. A strong smell of aged wood mold hit every face. I groped around in the left corner of the second floor. Suddenly, my fingers touched a cold glass jar. Specially made time-space feedback from Inshin Can Factory in 1985. Things my grandfather left behind in 1985, spanning 38 years. It truly appeared before me. A rich and pure scent. A natural yellow peach fragrance without any artificial fragrance to evoke it. Instantly filling the entire kitchen. There's no cloying sweetness or saccharin flavor. Only the perfectly balanced sweetness of rock sugar and the slightly sour fruity aroma of the yellow peach itself. The texture is soft and chewy yet resilient. Just those industrialized preservative cans found in modern assembly plants. An unmatched culinary flavor. Tears fell steadily into the can jar. I wolfed down my food ravenously, while returning to the radio. Grandfather. Delicious. It's delicious. Have you eaten enough? Well, I'm full. Wiping away my tears, I stood up. Eat your fill. Didn't that clever little bastard steal your company? Grandpa called you. If you have real skills, you can rightfully reclaim the scene. But before that, Maruko, do you understand what cold and fresh preservation means? Grandpa, the apples on this side are about to rot in the field. I glanced at the wall clock. 23:58. Grandpa, don't worry. You taught me how to be a person and make a product. I'll teach you how to use modern knowledge 30 years from now. Crushing the speculative and profit-taking of 1985. I wiped the word tan from the corner of my mouth. My mind became clearer than ever before. Grandpa, what's the real situation on your end? Since you're the factory director, why do people get stuck on the raw materials? Don't mention it. Our factory is weak. Originally, Hongo Fu was set in Shoulin County. As a result, a speculator named Qian Daqiang emerged locally. They have taken up all the fruits from the surrounding villages. Then they want to sell it to me at a 30% markup. I don't agree. He made a bold statement. This caused the boilers at Hongxing factory to completely shut down this winter. A 30% price increase. This exceeds the cost red line for township enterprises. He was openly robbing her. Who said it wasn't? Director Ma watched me make a fool of myself at a big factory in the provincial capital. Qian Daqiang strangled me locally. But even if Xiao Hai shuts down the factory, and he would never bow his head to buy his high-priced apples. At worst, I'll take the workers to the neighboring province and try our luck. Wait a minute. Next door. I suddenly slapped my thigh. an instinct developed in science and engineering. Let me take out the equipment immediately. Proficiently access the agricultural database and historical meteorological data for reference. Grandpa, don't rush to leave just yet. Listen to me. I looked up the agricultural system from 1985. Your neighboring Lingshan County has had a bumper apple harvest this year. But what is it? But because the temperatures this autumn are abnormal. Moreover, local irrigation is inconvenient. Farmers simply don't have preservation technology. Now, there are at least several 100,000 gene of premium apples. It was rotting right in front of the ground. Grandpa, this is our chance. What they lack is not buyers. It's technology. Technology. Grandpa's keen professional instincts were immediately activated. You mean to help them build cold spaces and mess around? That would require large-scale benefits. Using refrigeration units also requires a dedicated line store. How could you possibly have such conditions in the countryside? Grandpa, the modern cold chain 30 years from now really needs these. But don't forget, you are a level 8 veteran technician. No machines are needed. We use the principles of thermodynamic theory to build earthen cold storage. I quickly pulled up some agricultural science materials I had read before. He explained to Grandpa the blueprints. Choose a shady hillside. Dig a semi-basement cellar. The key is the ventilation duct design. Leave air inlets at the bottom. The top is equipped with an exhaust and ignition tube. It utilizes the convection principle of cold air sinking and hot air rising, combined with the excellent insulation performance of the luss wall. Just make sure the size is right. The temperature can absolutely be kept at 13 degrees. The radio was silent for a full minute. Just when I thought the signal was lost. Brilliant, using natural wind pressure for passive cooling. What is the ratio of the ventilation duct's cross-sectional area to the cellar volume? Quick, the cross-sectional ratio is 150. The air intake should be slanted to avoid direct draft. Good kid, as long as the dimensions on the blueprint are correct. Old man, even with my eyes closed, he could also lead workers to hammer out a standard for hiring. I'll lead the team to Lingshan County overnight right now. I want to use this craft to help the fruit farmers get real money back. He slapped Xian Daqiang, that opportunist, in the face. Grandpa, please be very careful. Don't worry, your grandpa. Back in the day, I used to carry heavy loads in the workshop. I let out a long sigh of relief, along with the crisis on the other side of the line. There was a way to break the deadlock. Now it's time to face my own mess. The next morning, the urgent knocking at the door woke me up. Well, someone said, I'll open the door and let it be. Hee. Standing outside the door was Lin Xiaoya, a bankruptcy liquidation lawyer with a stern face. Mr. Xiao, sorry to bother you. Act as your bankruptcy attorney. I must remind you, there are still 15 days before the court enforces the enforcement of your property. Zhou Ming's side refused any request for extension. He even leaked the word. You went bankrupt at Yijingyu. No one dares to use you anymore. I watched him not break down in despair like yesterday. Instead, she calmly turned sideways to let him in. I asked everyone about the likes of entering the family. I poured him a glass of plain water. Lin Xiaoya was clearly a bit surprised by my change in attitude. Babbling. Looks like you slept pretty well last night. At least there's still an appetite. How can you fight a war without eating snacks and not feeling full? Mr. Lin, I remember what you said before. Besides bankruptcy liquidation, he was still the legal advisor for the city's Nanshan High-End Wellness Center, right? What are you asking this for? Is the Health and Wellness Center currently in a tender? New catering and temporary suppliers. The original supplier was found to have exceeded food additive standards. This caused gastrointestinal discomfort in several elderly people. You guys fired me. Right now, you urgently need a company that can truly achieve zero additives, an alternative with extremely high nutritional standards. But mass-produced foods on the market cannot reach this level. Your board will carry strict health requirements. This is inside information. Where did you know? It doesn't matter. I could do important things. I walked up to the old radio from last night, gently stroking the cold metal casing. Zhou Ming snatched my formula, but he couldn't take away the quality control standards in my mind. Lawyer Lin, give me 5 days. I don't borrow money. I don't want your alms. I just want you to introduce me to the purchasing manager at the health center. Within 5 days, I prepared a batch of sugar-free, additive-free, medicinal-ed, and nutritious meals. If you can't pass your physical and chemical laboratory inspection, I immediately signed the waiver. If the deposit for the first installment of the order is approved, it's enough for me to pay off my first debt deposit and keep the old house. In the eyes of this lawyer, who has witnessed the cold-blooded and declining humanity of the business world, my current performance, clearly, it goes beyond the state expected of a bankrupt loser. You used to always chase those old-fashioned rigid formulas when making products. This is a disadvantage in this era of quick money. That's because I didn't understand before. Bottom lines are not for showing off. It was used as a weapon. The artisan's bones need to be used. Please arrange the time, Attorney Lin. I want to let those who play with capital. Let's see what a true dimensionality reduction strike is. Good. Friday afternoon at 3 p.m. Health and Wellness Center tasting event. Xiao Fan. Don't let me take the blame for this recommendation. It will never disappoint. Send him away. I immediately put on a clean set of clothes. He pocketed the remaining 2,000 yuan, heading straight to the city's largest Chinese medicinal herb market. They want to create products that impress high-end wellness centers within 5 days. The sugar-free concept alone is far from enough. What the elderly want is easy to digest and tasty. A truly all-natural food with medicinal and medicinal value. I decided to make an improved version of the traditional autumn pear syrup, mixed with yellow peaches and oats. There are no advanced laboratories. I use the kitchen gas stove. There is no precision centrifuge. I just use gauze to No band machines. I use a constant temperature water bath. Control the heat inch by inch. The next 4 days, I locked myself in the kitchen of the old house. It was as if I had gone back to the grandfather asking the priest who relied on roasted chicken. The quality of the 1980s at this moment. Sweat soaked through his clothes. Her fingers were blistered by the heat. But I was holding it in my heart. The equipment can be ruined. Me? You don't understand at all. You think that once you cut off my core technology, it was never a machine. It was the artisan's caliper that measured conscience. Late at night, on the 4th day. For the last pot, take out the autumn pears, yellow peaches, and oats. The amber color is rich. The fruity aroma carries a faint medicinal fragrance. Ha! Fancy, are you here? Grandpa, I'm listening. How is it going in Lingshan County? Damn, it's done. According to the ventilation size you specified. I led the workers for 3 days and nights. 2 large earth and cold storage units were dug up halfway up the mountain. Apple pulled in, and the side was firmly secured for 2nd degree. No more fear of rotting. That's great. You didn't see it. The secretary held my hand. Tears were falling. Fruit farmers, thank you for the low price of 1 dime per gene. The crispest and sweetest red Fuji film is loaded into 5 large trucks. Set it up for that Red Star factory. Our raw material problem is completely solved. Director Ma and that Xin Dachang. I want to see Lao Tzu's jokes. I'll go full throttle tomorrow. Take the best goods and crush them. Well done. Grandpa, where are you over there? Encountering difficulties. Do you want it, old man? I'll teach you a few more tricks from back in the day to deal with troublemakers. Grandpa doesn't need it. I've already polished the card field. Tomorrow I'll go and set some rules for them. I just ran into Lin Xiaoya. He ran into someone he least wanted at the moment. Yet he expected to meet someone he would encounter. Zhou Ming. Oh, isn't that President Xiao? I heard you might barely keep your old house. Why are you here selling health supplements to keep you alive? But your news is way too late. This order from Nanshan Wellness Center. We are determined to obtain food in our quest for flavor. Hello, Director Zhang. I am Xiao Fan, introduced by Lawyer Lin. My bidding product brought forth. Since they are all here, then let's compete together in the tasting room. At our wellness center, we select products based solely on quality, not considering friendship. Director Zhang. This is our latest developed meal replacement pot. Industrial standard aseptic production. Shelf life up to 12 months. What's more, we added a multivitamin. The taste is sweet and fragrant. Excellent cost control. This can save your center at least 30% of your procurement budget. The texture is indeed quite good, very delicate. Xiao Fan, times have changed. The handicraft workshop set won't make it to the big stage. Director Zhang. This is my handmade traditional autumn pear mixed with yellow peaches and oats. No fancy packaging, but there is one thing I can guarantee. The ingredients list includes autumn pears, yellow peaches, oats, and a small amount of old ice nest. Nothing. Ah, the toughness of the flesh. And that sweet sweetness. His throat wasn't hoarse at all. We have many elderly people here. There is mild diabetes and difficulty swallowing. Previous suppliers. Even if you use sugar substitutes, it can also cause bloating in the stomach and intestines of the elderly. How did you do that? Slow work produces meticulous work. Mr. Zhou's products are indeed sweet. The cost is indeed low. But Director Zhang, you can take a look at the comparative ingredient analysis that my lawyer Talon has rushed inside Mr. Zhou's products to mask the taste of inferior ingredients. A large amount of malt paste is used, and the compliant range of trichlorocaramel is used. For ordinary people, this is completely legal and compliant. But for elderly people with extremely fragile stomachs and slow metabolism, it is a chronic burden that increases their physical burden. Xiao Fan, stop slandering me like this. All indicators of our products fully comply with national standards. Meets minimum standards. Truly thinking about practical needs is a different matter. A craftsman's heart cannot be dirty. There is no room for any calculation in what the elderly eat. Mr. Zhou, our wellness center wants the highest standard of healthy food. It is not an industrial grout that meets the minimum standards. Sorry, your product does not meet our requirements. Xiao Fan, you're going to be ruthless. But I want to see you alone with a broken stove. How can we meet the monthly demand of 10,000 servings in a wellness center? Unable to deliver goods. You can pay just the penalty for breach of contract to lose your underwear. 10,000 followers in a month. Production capacity is indeed a hurdle. Mr. Xiao, Zhou Ming was right. Your products are impeccable, but capacity is a major issue. Director Zhang gave me a 30% down payment. With this money, I can not only keep my own field, and you can immediately take it down. A small sterile processing plant in the suburbs ceased operations due to poor business conditions. I personally oversaw the control of the heat in the process. Within a week, the first batch of 2,000 products will be delivered to you with guaranteed quality and quantity. If there are any quality defects, the deposit was fully refunded. I will bear double compensation. Okay. An annual procurement framework agreement of 500,000. A down payment of 150,000 yuan. In the afternoon, I went to the business accounts. Xiao Fan, don't let me down. The old house was saved. My first counterattack was a win. Ah, Grandpa, are you there? I landed my first big order. The old house was saved. I also acquired a small workshop. We don't have to go hungry anymore. If you actively ask for things but don't get them, you let them go. Grandfather, you're sick. Ahem. Fanzi gone is excellent. Grandpa is happy for you. Do you only like to cross into the family? Something happened. Fanzi, Grandpa, might really be going to fail this time. Apple has taken it back, piled up like a mountain, but the machine wouldn't start. It was Director Ma who made his move. He was jealous that our factory had gotten cheap and good apples from Lingshui County. He leveraged his connections in the province. The call card was instantly cut off. Glass jars and coal that were supposed to be shipped to us. He made a harsh statement. No glass factory in the province dared to sell us a single bottle. No coal station dares to deliver us a ton of coal. In 3 days, there will be a severe frost. By then, nearly 100,000 gene of apples would all rot in the yard. That Director Ma actually, driven by personal gain and jealousy, watching helplessly as the lifeline of township enterprises is cut off. Watching the fruits, painstakingly grown by the common people, rot. I'm already ready to review the factory's ledgers. He gave the remaining money to the workers to settle the retirement payments. While the frost hasn't formed yet, I pulled these apples to the market. How much can be sold? Consider it a way to reduce some losses for fruit farmers in Lingshan County. Grandpa couldn't admit defeat. There must be a way. I'll go online to check if there are other glass channels from 1985. If you can't control yourself, then let go. What's going on? Director Xiao. Here we come. Loneliness lingers in my heart. Beloved Zhong and Lao Zhao, you don't work at a big factory in the provincial capital. Why are you even running this gun? Attending that damn class. Master, Director Ma, that bastard. They insist on adding preservatives to a batch of cans that are about to expire. Sell it as new stock with a new label. We are all apprentices you personally raised to us. You taught us artisans not to have dirty hands. It's the master, the iron rice bowl. We smashed it and didn't want it. We found out. You're short on manpower here. We have exhausted all our last resources. They pulled 500 yuan. He even brought all the iron coin molds you taught us back then. Master, the factory has taken root. Without coal, go into the mountains to chop wood and burn. No yars. We'll make you the purest dried fruit. We just want to follow you and simmer a good pot of soup cleanly. Babbling, babbling. Whatever you cry for, hold back your tears. I'm not dead yet. The factory won't go bankrupt. Pansy, did you hear that? I heard it. I'm not going to be an officialdom anymore, as long as these disciples still recognize me as their master. Even if you pick them with your hands. I have to narrow this path too. It was Maruko who helped Grandpa figure out a solution. No glass jars. These are about 100,000 gene of apples. How can we keep it? How can you sell for a high price? Fruit is removed and concentrated juice is lifted. Grandpa, Director Ma stuck our glass jar. So let's just stop making canned food. Now, there's a technology. No need for glass jars. No need for high-temperature sterilization. And the profit is 3 times that of ordinary canned food. I want to teach you how to make low-temperature, vacuum, micro-fermented apple cider vinegar. Make apple cider vinegar. Fancy, don't try to make fun of Grandpa. That must be sour. The seasoning for the sticks costs a few cents per gene. What kind of high price can it fetch? This is a life-saving deal. Grandpa isn't the old vinegar used for cooking. It's a fruit vinegar drink. 30 years later, this is a high-end health drink that has taken the whole country by storm. It can soften blood vessels, promotes digestion, and the taste is sweet and sour, refreshing and refreshing. The most important thing is, brewing fermented fruit vinegar doesn't require glass jars at all. Perform vacuum, high-pressure sealing. No glass jars are used. Then what would you use to install it? Using the largest clay jars that are the most abundant in our countryside. Grandpa, you have experience in fermenting koji from back in the day, right? Crush the apple. Use your newly built soil cold night for low-temperature, controlled fermentation. Earthen clay jars are breathable, but not waterproof. Yellow clay sealing is the perfect micro-fermentation container. Just combine alcohol fermentation and acetic acid fermentation. Temperatures are stuck between 28 and 35 degrees. We can produce the first batch of golden color within half a month. A sweet and tangy, all-natural apple cider vinegar. Damn, that's unbelievable. Local methods brew new things from east to west. This is called old trees blooming anew. Old Xiao from Dezhou laid out all the things he brought out for me. No small crushers. Let's just use a stone roller to press it down. There is no incubator. Let's build a firewall and use ice blocks to control the temperature. Tonight, the Hongqing factory will fully resume operations. All right, Master, take a look. Fancy. This first step has been taken, but what about the sales channels? Around this time in 1985, ordinary people aren't used to drinking this stuff. Who would this new product be made to sell to? Sold to those who can't afford high-end Western goods, but someone who urgently needs to give gifts to uphold their reputation. Grandpa, have someone go find the county's nearly bankrupt carton factory right away. Custom orders for cardboard gift boxes with red backgrounds and gold lettering handles. Remember, the packaging must include red heart fruit vinegar. Promotes digestion and pure fruit fermentation. It's almost the new year. This thing is absolutely overwhelming at 100 in the supply and marketing cooperative. Factory director Ma's deadly weapon for those low-quality saccharin cans. Ha 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 ha. Good kid. You have the courage of your grandfather and me back then. Take care of yourself. Half a month later. Watch how I make Director Ma and Qian Daxiang's bastards cry so hard they won't even cry. The seeds in the county of the era have already been planted. Just wait for it to ferment. And my battlefield has only just begun. Incredible. It really is all natural, not even a trace of preservatives. Various microbial indicators. Surprisingly, the national standard is even lower. 2 taboos. After Xiao Fan tasted this batch of goods, the elderly responded very positively. Not only is it easy to burden your stomach, the blood sugar of several elderly people, it was even more stable than eating regular meals. You not only maintain quality, it has also achieved mass production. This is just the first step. Director Zhang follows the rules of artists. He promised to sell everything, no matter what. Looking back, there were no shortage of people standing in front of the factory gate that had just hung the new Red Star Heritage sign. I finally had a bit of confidence to regain my footing. Xiao Fan, let me introduce you. This is Mr. Su from Dingtai Capital. Let's seek out flavorful food. We just secured $30 million in Series A financing from Mr. Su. Today, President Su personally came to see you. It is a blessing that you have cultivated in 8 lifetimes. I have no connection with Xuanwei Food anymore. Mr. Su, if you're here to inspect competitors, that's not necessary. My small workshop won't catch your eye. Mr. Xiao, don't be so angry. Your traditional autumn pears and oats. You became an instant hit at the Nanshan Wellness Center. Now, several high-end postpartum centers in the city are located. Everyone is inquiring about your supply sources. I have to admit it. In product development, you're much more talented than Zhou Ming. I'm not here today to suppress you. Instead, I'm here to show you a clear path. Listen to me. 5 million yuan offers you this traditional additive-free product, formula, and process flow, along with all those messy quality control standards in your mind. All that was sold to Ding Tai. With this 5 million, you can go abroad for a vacation or start some other small business. You can't handle this track alone. President Su is truly generous. Spend 5 million on my formula. Then, take it to your modern assembly line. Replace the original fruit with cheap pulp. Replace rock sugar with industrial fructose. Add some compliant thickeners. Finally, I labeled it as made using traditional methods, taking advantage of consumers. Xiao Fan, don't be shameless with your face. Mr. Su sees you as a technical talent. That's why I quoted you that price. How can you make money without controlling costs in industrial mass production? That stupid method of yours. They can't even afford to maintain a modern sterile filling line. So I'd rather do it myself little by little. And I won't let my formula become your poison for profit. Mr. Su, your 5 million yuan can't buy my bottom line. Please go back. Xiao Fan. It's good for young people to have backbone. But in this circle, backbone is the least valuable thing. If you don't want to sell, that's fine. But I assure you, from tomorrow, all high-quality raw material suppliers in the city, I won't sell them to you anymore. 1 tail of oats, 1 autumn pear. I don't even need to use any means. Only a 20% increase in purchase price is needed. Your supply chain will collapse instantly. The wheels of the times roll forward. Your brother stubbornly clings to old rules and won't let go. It will only be crushed to dust. The factory won't go bankrupt. 38 years have passed. These exploit monopoly status, trying to crush the artisan's tricks. It was exactly the same as before. Mr. Su, you're absolutely right. Times are indeed changing, but one thing never changes. No matter how you operate capital, the tongues of ordinary people don't lie. Go ahead and lock up my raw materials. If you suffocate me with these few bills, I, Xiao Fan, personally smash the Red Star Heritage brand. Zhou Ming gave him a lesson. Let him understand what the rules of capital are. Is Grandpa here? Mortal children in broad daylight. Why did you remember to contact me? Grandfather, I'm in big trouble on my end. Some big investors have taken an interest in my formula. I don't sell. They were ready to join forces to break the dead. My entire high-quality raw material supply chain in 2023. What? These heartless bastards. Over 30 years ago, Director Ma played this trick. 30 years later, they are still playing with dumplings. Don't be afraid. Grandpa will help you from here. What ingredients do you need? Only 85 years. Some grandpas will get them all for you. Grandfather, I want more than just raw materials. I'm going to fight a supply chain counterattack spanning 38 years. How is the fruit vinegar fermentation on your side? In 3 days, the first batch of original pulp will be ready. This fragrance is now throughout the entire Red Star field. It can be heard from miles away. Good Grandpa, in 3 days we'll pull off a big bunch. I want to use the purest and most pollution-free raw materials from 1985, combining modern packaging concepts. To those arrogant capitalists, a true dimensionality reduction strike. Fanzi, you said you want to rainvert it for me. How could you do this after 31 years? You can't transmit food through electrical wires. A few days ago, while cleaning, I accidentally discovered the drawer under the desk with a gay pull tab. It always emits a faint heat. As a science and engineering man, I immediately faced a bold guess. If this radio connecting time and space is an anchor point, this desk integrated with the radio, could it be the transmission channel? Grandpa, now open the drawer with a copper ring under the radio. Inside the drawer were a few scraps of newspaper. Everything. Oh my God, traitor. A stack of transparent soft plastic bags popped up from the drawer. Only then did they want to verify, successfully. Isn't Director Ma blocking your glass jar? Let's not use those heavy, fragile things. After filtering the fermented apple cider vinegar, put it into this bag. The heat sealing machine seals it. Go straight to the supply and marketing cooperative and slap them in the face. Okay, great. This bag is not only lightweight, and it won't break apart. Even the imported goods from the friendship store can't compare to this quality. Mortal, you've helped Grandpa a lot. What ingredients do you need? As long as our Red Star factory has it, I'll stuff them all into your drawer. Grandpa, I want the freshest autumn pears from your area. There are also oats grown by the old mountain farmer himself. Zhou cut off my modern supply chain. I'll use your 1985 name. Those are the purest agricultural products with no industrial pollution. To teach modern capital a lesson, accompanied by the repeated pushing and pulling of drawers, dozens of pounds. Carrying the scent of 1985 earth in the morning of dawn. Dew-scented autumn pears and oats. It miraculously appeared in my basement. They looked small, yet the autumn pears exude a rich, natural fruit aroma. Without hesitation, I loaded them onto the truck. Shipped overnight to my Red Star Heritage Processing Factory. Director Ma, you really are wise. You cut off the glass jar's channel. That old cargo Shanghai was completely finished. Nearly 100,000 gene of apples rotted in the factory. I see how he ends today. You old fool. Relying on being an 8th level worker. Dare to challenge me. Today is the last day of the Supply and Marketing Cooperative's New Year Goods Procurement Tender. Red Star didn't even have a bottle for canned food. What do you use to bid? Where did he get the bottle? Isn't this Director Xiao? Why can't I buy glass jars? Switch to bidding for canned food in urinals. This is Director Lee. Our Red Star factory's bidding products this year. Not canned sugar soup. It's this new type of healthy drink. Pure fruit fermented apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar, what a rare thing. What kind of packaging is this? It looks like plastic, but why is it so clear and still so tough? Impossible. The newest chemical plant in the provincial capital. They couldn't produce such material. Where did you get it? My sourcing channels. People like you who only know how to sabotage behind the scenes. I'll never reach it in this lifetime. Balance sweet and sour, refreshing to cut through greasiness. This taste is much better than those sodas full of flavorings. During the new year, we ate too much rich meat and fish. This is the most suitable drink. Director Xiao, this fruit vinegar even has such premium packaging bags. How much do you have? The first batch of 20,000 bags. Quality and quantity are guaranteed. The Hongqing factory's fruit vinegar supply and marketing cooperative took care of everything. Sign an exclusive procurement contract immediately. Report the car to drink. Kid, you dare mess with me. Play with you. I'm teaching you how to be a person with my own strength. Go back and check your almost expired canned food carefully. Suppressing competitors by choking off the enemy. You've reached the end of your position as factory director. Director Zhang, I heard Xiao Fan won't be able to deliver the goods today. I'll just say it. His small workshop had poor risk resistance. Once there is a fluctuation in the raw material market, he must stop paying his debts. See, why not consider our products as Xuanwei Foods? President Su personally came today with the utmost sincerity. Mr. Zhou, Mr. Su, your information may not be very accurate. Inaccurate. Director Zhang, high-quality autumn pears and oat suppliers throughout East China. I've already said hello. Xiao Fan couldn't possibly buy a single qualified raw material. His default was already a done deal. So-called. Mr. Su's bold gestures truly showed me the power of capital. However, you may be overestimating your lockdown circle and underestimated my trump card. Xiao Fan, Don't force yourself to hold on. He used a few jars of inferior fruit to fool Director Zhang with leftover products. You're ruining your own reputation. Is it a defective product? Director Zhang's physics and chemistry laboratory is in control. Xiao Wang immediately sent the physics and chemistry lab for urgent testing. Director Zhang, all the indicators have been released. Not only are there no additives and the pectin content, the trace element indicators are a full 30% higher than the previous batch. This is the quality of these raw materials. It has almost reached the upper limit of the national top-grade organic standard. No way. Raw materials of this purity are simply not available on the current market. Where did you get it? Mr. Su, you have drawn a circle with capital. They thought they could block all roads. But you forgot. In this world, there are always things that capital cannot monopolize. Mr. Su, the Health and Wellness Center only recognizes product quality. I will not participate in your commercial clearance. Mr. Zhao's products far exceeded our expectations. If you have nothing else, please go back. Xiao Fan, count you as having a kind. But don't think it's just a secret route found out of nowhere. Suppliers can establish themselves in this industry. Let's see how. This 38-year-long supply chain battle against the 3 major battles. The 2 of us won. But I know this is just the beginning. Capital's greed knows no bounds. They will never give up. The board had an accident. That bastard factory director Ma. We snatched the supply and marketing cooperatives orders. They actually teamed up with Qian Daqiang to hire more than a dozen thugs. In the middle of the night, I touched our fermented fruit vinegar soil storage tank. Pour lime into the exhaust pipe. One of our night watchmen tried to stop them. Was injured by them. Business competition is unbeatable. He started using these despicable dirty tricks. Grandfather, how serious was the injury? Did you call the police? The person was sent to the health clinic. Fortunately, it was only a superficial injury that called the police. But it was dark, and he couldn't see his face clearly. These days, there are no cameras. There was simply no evidence to be found. Those bastards are still making rumors in town, saying this is just a warning. Tomorrow night, they'll come to burn our cold storage again. No camera. Grandfather, since they dare to play dirty tricks, let's give them some groundbreaking high-tech self-defense techniques. I don't believe they can get through quickly. 2023 infrared kinetic energy sensor alarm and a high-brightness anti-wolf flashlight. How far can a wolf-proof flashlight illuminate? Grandpa, this is called a highlight tactical flashlight. It can burst with a maximum brightness of 2,000 lumens. Not only bright, and it has a reverse function. In the middle of the night, just focus on those people's eyes and press down. They are absolutely blind instantly. You couldn't even tell east, south, west, or north. There are also these sensor alarms posted in the corners of cold storage walls. As long as someone is within 3 meters, it will emit a 120 dB alarm. They were shaken to the core. With every push and pull of the drawer, these are timeless security tools. It arrived smoothly 38 years ago. Good guy. Why is this flashlight so small? All are lumps of iron, and it's heavy. Fanzi, teach me how to handle this alarm device. Grandpa, look, press the button at the end to stay on. Press twice in a row to reverse the situation. There's adhesive behind the alarm. Just tear it open and stick it in the corner. I am patient and meticulous. He guided his grandfather step by step through the radio, laying out this defensive line that transcends eras. What the hell? What's going on? Where did the sound of catching thieves come from? I won't get off. Stop looking. I'll tell you, don't look for me. Enough? Tie all the ropes tightly for me. Coming in the middle of the night to destroy the foundation of our Honghing factory. No one can save you today. Go to the local police station immediately to report the case. It was Qian Daqiang. He gave us 500 yuan, saying Director Ma wanted to ruin Xiao Hai's canning factory. Let's go for some disruption. Director Ma, Qian Daqiang. Your good days are over. Grandpa did a great job, taking advantage of Director Ma's downfall. Quickly expand your production capacity. Completely devour the market in Lingshan County. Don't worry, mortal. Without these parasites messing up our fruit. Fruit vinegar from canning factories is about to be rolled out across the board. I'm heading up the mountain today. I'll also buy you a batch of top-quality autumn pears to send over. Yes. Xiaoya, why are you here so early? Are there any issues with the contract for the wellness center? The contract for the wellness center is fine. The problem is you. Xiao Fan, immediately stop the production line for traditional autumn pear oats in your factory. We're in trouble. Big trouble. Stop infringing on copyright. Warning. Not just warnings. Yesterday afternoon, Dingtai Capital has publicly disclosed one item. It is called a low-temperature, mildly pressed fruit. Patent for applicability of fiber extraction and additive-free blending process. I carefully compared all the technical parameters of this patent. Adjust the heat to the right temperature. Even the ingredient ratios. Core skills with your traditional autumn pear oatmeal recipe. Likeness up to 95%. They grabbed my formula. No wonder he said he wanted to teach me a lesson at the time. It turns out the supply chain blockade was just a feint. This was his true killer move. This is the horror of capital. You refuse to be acquired after that. They rely on a large R&D team. Buy your product and go back to reverse engineering. Although it's impossible to recreate it 100%. The taste of your top-quality raw materials. But they have a rough idea of your workflow. And make use of capital resources. Applied for a patent in advance through the expedited channel. Xiao Fan. In law. Now, they're the legitimate owners of this formula. If your factory continues production, they have the right to apply to the court for a pre-litigation injunction. Seal off your production line. And you're also required to compensate for huge tort losses. By that time, not only will you lose the order from Nanshan Wellness Center, also have to bear huge debts. Xiaoya, you're a professional lawyer. Encountering this rogue-style patent squatting, do we have any way to fight back? In patent law, the only way to directly crush this kind of preemptive patent registration. This is called the prior art defense. What do you mean? Other words, as long as we can provide solid evidence. Before the date, Dingtai Capital applied for this patent. This technology has already been publicly used in the public sector, or it has already been publicly published. Then their patents will be seen as lacking novelty, and then it was declared invalid. But that's where the difficulty lies. This craft is passed down from your family. It has always been kept under secrecy. It has never been publicly registered. It has never been published in any academic journal or mass media. Where do we find legitimate evidence for public use? Prior art protests must be filed before they apply for patents. Have already been publicly published or used. Mr. Su thought I was just a helpless person with no one to rely on. Young entrepreneurs who steadfastly guard the workshop. He thought a single modern patent could completely kill me. But he never dreamed of it. Behind me stands a level 8 veteran craftsman from 1985, and one from 38 years ago. A physical factory operating with great vigor. Lesser, if only I could find an official newspaper from 38 years ago. Not only has this process been described in detail above, it even bears the official seal of the state-owned major factory from back then. Is this the most ironclad evidence of prior art? A newspaper from 38 years ago. Xiao Fan, are you crazy? Your family's family craftsmanship. How could it have appeared in the newspaper 38 years ago? Don't worry about this. Draft one for me right now. Apply to the National Intellectual Property Administration. A collaborative agreement declaring their patents invalid. I'll hand the evidence to you no later than tomorrow morning. Grandpa Fancy, what's wrong? Something happened. Now, the capitalists here have snatched the patent for our autumn pear stew. They want to seal down my factory. I need your help now. You not only wanted to publicly reveal this brewing process in 1985, and it had to be made known to everyone. The more official, the better. Playing the credit game with me. Ha! Fancy, you found the right person. Tomorrow morning will be the meeting with the leaders of the Provincial Light Industry Department. The day to inspect the achievements of township enterprises in Lingshan County. Banzi, just you wait. Tomorrow, Grandpa not only wants our family to master this craft, featured on the front page of provincial newspapers, and the leadership of the Department of Light Industry. Personally, give us the recipe. Stamped with the state-recognized bright red seal. Really didn't get up. Director Xiao, I heard your factory has recently made a big move. Not only does it break the traditional thinking of glass cans, the texture and packaging, I think direct export innovation is no problem. Director Wong, this fruit vinegar is just the first step in our factory's transformation. The provincial newspaper comrades presented another great gift to the country. Director Wong, this is the Xiao family's ancestral medicinal cuisine recipe. It combines the process parameters of modern low-temperature, micro-pressure fermentation. This document details everything from fruit selection, pitting to low-temperature, slow simmering, to all the heat and pressure data for final forming. The product made by simmering this recipe. It's great for the digestive system of middle-aged and elderly people. Ancestral secret recipe. Director Xiao, this is a craft that can be passed down through the family. What are you? Whether to pass down the family or not. We are industrial workers of New China. If there is something good, it must be brought out to benefit the people. Today I, Xiao Hai, officially took out this low-temperature, lightly pressed fruit. Fiber extraction and additive-free blending processes are disclosed free of charge. Please have the leaders of the light industry department inspect the inspection. Provincial newspaper colleagues are invited to publish and promote the event. This allows food factories nationwide to meet this standard, making healthy food for the people. A truly good industrial worker of New China. Director Xiao, your resolve is admirable. Did Old Li remember everything? Put this technical specification on it. It was published exactly as the front page headline in tomorrow's provincial newspaper. The title is Old Craftsman Selflessly Presents His Treasure. Red Heart Can Food Factory leads a new trend in health. Director, rest assured, this is definitely exciting and good news. Tawanzi secured the stamp personally stamped by Director Huang. A photo personally taken by Old Li from the provincial newspaper. I just went to the post office to pick up the latest reprinted Jiangnan Provincial Daily. It was as if every word was printed on it, because Grandpa made changes in the pastime cabinet. The corrective power of space-time completes the closing loop at this moment. Xiaoyao logged in immediately. Online databases of the National Library and Jiangnan Provincial Archives. Search the front page of the Jiangnan Provincial Daily on November 15th, 1985. Oh my God, Xiao Fan. How is this possible? In a microfilm scan from the archives, there really is a detailed report about this process. All technical indicators are exactly the same as the patents applied for by Dingtai Capital. And not only that, database display. This technology was approved by the Provincial Industrial Department that same year. It has been registered as a recommended process. Can you win with this? Win. This is nothing short of a massacre. This is not only a perfect existing technology, but also a complete slap in the face to disease resistance. This patent belongs to the Ding princes. Legally, he was already a stubborn faction. Tomorrow, we'll take the evidence and visit their graves. Xiao Fan, stop hiding inside like a coward. Open the door. We have obtained a pre-litigation injunction from a court. Your factory is suspected of seriously infringing on Dingtai Capital's exclusive patents. Work must be stopped immediately for investigation. President Su, you move pretty fast. To kill my little workshop. Even the court's injunction was approved overnight. What a bother. Xiao Fan, I told you. In this era, capital crushing you is as easy as crushing an ant. I gave you a chance of 5 million. It's because you don't cherish it yourself. Your recipe. It now belongs to Ding Tai's legal property. Today is just a closed event. Tomorrow I will sue you. Claim 20 million yuan in tort fees. I want you to never turn your life around in this industry. Is it? Mr. Su, before you block our factory, we recommend your legal team review this document first. This was just issued by the National Intellectual Property Administration. Notice of acceptance of patent invalidation request. Slowly and slowly. What's going on? Think of them. They submitted ironclad evidence supporting the existing technology defense. This is a 1985 Jiangnan Province Daily. Official copies kept in the archives. And when the technical filing certificate from the Young Industry Department is present, the above details all the technical parameters we have just applied for. This technology was developed 38 years ago. It has already been publicly recognized as a public resource. What did you say? That's impossible. This is definitely a fake. 38 years ago, there wasn't even a computer. Who would publish this recipe in the newspaper? Zhou Ming. Your ignorance is truly laughable. The provincial archives have microfilm. The National Library has electronic archives. And not only that, look closely at the red on this. Is that wrong? This is the official seal of a state agency from 38 years ago. Mr. Su, the reverse engineering team you spent a fortune building on. The so-called exclusive patent that cost millions to squash the rights. But it was my grandfather who did it 38 years ago. Have already been donated to the state's public property free of charge. You use capital to seize resources, attempting to monopolize the market. I can't control this. But you are wrong. He shouldn't have taken what was passed down from his ancestors. Technology belonging to the entire Chinese people. Go label your capital as private property. According to the patent law, your patent is now completely invalid. This pre-litigation injunction naturally became a worthless piece of paper. And not only that, Mr. Su, since you have maliciously registered the registration, in attempts to exploit invalid patents, disrupting our normal production, we are ready to send you to unfair competition and demanded compensation for reputational and economic damages. I have been in the business world for so many years. Countless entrepreneurs have been killed by patent barriers. He had never encountered such an extremely bizarre situation as today. Who would have thought that the craftsmanship of a small workshop I had never seen before? It actually appeared in the official newspaper 38 years ago. Find a report that is not missing a single word. This is simply a dimensionality reduction blow. Good. Xiao Fan, you're ruthless. President Su, please wait for me. Fools are not good at doing anything but ruining things. Immediately roll out the flavor-seeking food. Ha! Start. Haha. I can't think of a reply to you. Not just a month. Grandfather. Cheers. We won. The meatballs are great. He didn't embarrass our Xiao family. Ha 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 ha. But now Grandpa is facing an even more troublesome situation. But it's also a huge headache that excites people. Troublesome. Hasn't Director Ma already fallen from power? Who else dares to cause trouble for our Red Star factory? It's not someone else causing trouble. It's because our reputation is just too great. This morning, the declaration was issued. The county's phone call has been nonstop since noon. Not only are several surrounding counties and cities coming to place orders, even the Provincial Foreign Trade Bureau. The Foreign Trade Bureau has come down. Yes, they set their sights on our pet. High transparency, packaging, and natural fruit vinegar quality. They said this item met foreigner standards. They want to place export orders for us. This allows our Hongqing factory's products to earn foreign exchange through exports. But the condition is within 3 months. We must build a road that meets international health standards. Fully automatic aseptic filling assembly line. But by 1985, such high-end equipment simply didn't exist in China. Grandpa didn't have it in 1985. But in 2023, there was one. As long as we have money, let alone a single production line, I can bring you the blueprints of the entire modern industrial system. Move the fully automated aseptic filling production line over. Otherwise, don't joke around. That same drawer is only about 40 centimeters wide at best. You can fit several tens of steel machines inside. Grandpa, of course the whole assembly line can't fit it all in. But don't forget what the assembly line is made of. Determining the level of a modern automated production line. Not those bulky steel frames, but his brain and eyes. That is, modern microcomputer controllers and high-precision sensors. And the brain and eyes. Right? You were among the top 8th level fitters since the founding of the country. As long as there are drawings. The machine tools from Hongqing factory and your craftsmanship. Can't you really retract those mechanical transmission parts and stainless steel frames? The mechanical framework was handcrafted by you in 1985. The core components include microcomputer chips, photoelectric sensors, cylinders, and solenoid valves. These are the sole parts of a compact size. I'll send it to you through the drawer. Good kid. Are you trying to make your grandpa your dad? I was in 1985. Build a super machine that leads the world. Morocco, stop talking nonsense. Give me the blueprint. As long as you dare to send those high-tech gadgets over. We old alleys are risking our lives. I'll also assemble this machine for you. Just do it. Connect with your weakness and laziness toward everything. Still suspecting you are abroad. This love I have ever had before. To help Grandpa understand, I even specifically looked for Photoshop. Enlarged the entire set of mechanical structure drawings. Dozens of large-scale blueprints were printed in A0 size and used pins of different colors. The drawings have detailed markings on the location of each wire connector and color correspondence. Grandpa, all the core components and paper have been sent. I applied tape in red, blue, and yellow to all motor connectors. You just need to follow the blueprints and match the colors to get seated. You don't need to understand the principles of microcomputer controllers. Connected to 220 volts. Press that largest green button. It can operate on its own. Got it, heavens. The blueprint is really detailed. And these iron boxes and glass tubes for meatballs. Don't worry. A 3-month foreign trade period. You don't need to give your grandpa a month. My love lies in your choice and kindness. Could it be that you also endure without interaction? Because I love you. Love makes my heart ache. But you don't understand. No, I'm letting go. Your weakness and laziness in everything. President Xiao, the quarterly financial report is out. Our monthly sales have already surpassed 30 million. Moreover, Dingtai Capital is suspected of malicious registration, squatting, and unfair competition. Not only was he heavily fined by the Intellectual Property Office, their flavor-seeking foods have also faced severe market resistance. It is now on the brink of bankruptcy. Good and evil will eventually be rewarded. The arrogance of capital ultimately backfired on themselves. Xiaoye is now preparing to distribute products to markets nationwide. We want to pass on the Red Star to become the #1 health brand in China. Got it. We should let it go. We should let go. Grandpa Maruko's speech. What will happen today? Listen to Director Liu from the Provincial Foreign Trade Bureau, accompanied by several blonde, blue-eyed foreign merchants. We're already at the entrance of our workshop. Director Liu, I have great respect for Chinese companies, but we made it clear in the contract. It is an export food for barbecue. It must meet the standards of fully enclosed, contactless sterile filling. Forgive my words. A small factory located in the county town. Not even a clean asphalt road. How could it possibly be possible to build automated production lines that meet international standards? This is simply a waste of our time. Mr. Smith, please be patient. No, Director Liu, I must be accountable to the consumers of our country. If they were still boiling in a handmade large pot or filling with funnels, this foreign trade contract is absolutely impossible to sign. Mr. Smith, there's an old Chinese saying, hearing is unreliable, seeing is believing. Our Hongqing factory cooks everything by hand in a large pot. See for yourself. It's an old road. Because oh my God. What kind of movement is this? But you don't understand. Stop, power on, set to green and start. Screw it on, sir. Your weakness and laziness in everything. Could it be that the first self-check is complete? Start filling. I really love myself. Turns out it couldn't be found. Let go and we should let it go. Incredible. It's just incredible. This precision of photoelectric recognition. This fully enclosed, pressure-inducing filling system. This technology even surpasses the latest equipment we've seen in Germany. Director Xiao, this machine was built by you yourselves. The frame of the machine was forged by our factory's veteran craftsmen, hammer by hammer. The soul of machines is endowed by China's new generation of scientific research forces. Mr. Smith, this is the strength of our canning factory. Are you still going to sign this contract? Signatures must be signed. And I want to add an additional $5 million in orders. Director Xiao, you and your factory have earned my highest respect. Loving you until my heart aches. But you don't understand me. 3 years later, I stood in front of the huge floor-to-ceiling window. overlooking this bustling city. In the past 3 years, thanks to seamless connection with the time-space pull strap, modern advanced management concepts and technologies, continuously giving back to 1985. And in 1985, those vast and pure natural resources. It also continuously supports modern business empires. In the time and space of 1988, Grandpa's Red Star factory, it has become the largest light industry export innovation base in the country. Grandpa himself was even named a national model worker, even as a special guest representative. He boarded the train heading to the capital for a meeting. And in modern times, I have already passed on the legacy of Red Star. It has become a top-tier food product valued at tens of billions in China. Healthy enterprises, successfully listed. Mr. Xiao, all the Mid-Autumn Festival gift boxes have been distributed. Additionally, the annual Outstanding Young Entrepreneur Trophy selected by the province, just delivered to your office. Let that go. Thank you for your hard work, Xiaoya. Get off work early tonight and go home for the holiday. In your eyes, it says ice and waves get colder and colder. I am neither cold nor crying. My tears are Grandpa. Happy Mid-Autumn Festival. Vanzi, happy Mid-Autumn Festival. Grandpa is currently sitting on the special train to the capital. Tomorrow, I will stand in the open space of the conference to receive my award. This life is worth it. You deserve it. You are the pride of our Xiao family. You Fanzi, you are Grandpa's pride. Without you, the canning factory collapsed long ago that winter. It is your future light that illuminates Grandpa's path. Grandpa is your dedication and craftsmanship from the older generation. It laid the strongest foundation for me. No matter how times change, how technology develops, our Xiao family is a brand. This spirit of struggle will never fade. Well said, we've been separated by 38 years. Wishing us a good day, honoring this great era. Cheers!